I will be fucked. Here I am, in the money section of Windows 10. It comes up in the start menu. Silver polishes up as alternative safe haven to gold. ABC News 2 hours ago. I can't believe this shit. Silver, or poor man's gold as it is known, is largely overlooked as a safe haven asset, but is now hitting a purple patch and attracting... I can't hold out for this. ABC News, Australia ABC, that is. Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah. I don't know exactly what that is they're smelting there. It can be safely assumed it's 1,000 ounce bars of silver. When they get it out of a smelter initially, in, you know, guy dressed in all this shit there, initially it's about, what is it now, it's around about 95% or 92 to 95% pure when they get it out of the big smelters, and then they take it down to the refiners who pure it right up good and proper. But they have these huge big 1,000 ounce bars that come pretty much straight from the mine processes. Those of you who know of fat guy, Clive Palmer, he hasn't made his money out of mining, but more so out of processing minerals into the actual commodities. And, you know, a lot of it's just sort of chemical treatment, high temperature treatment, smelting and stuff like that. And, yeah, but that's what made him a lot of money. But anyway. Silver, or poor man's gold, as is known, is largely overlooked as a safe haven asset, but is now hitting a purple patch and attracting investors. Silver right now is really undervalued. By the time you hear this on the news, the horse has already bolted the gate generally. Said management consultant investor Tung Du Jin, he would be Vietnamese with a name like that. If you look at the long-term historical trends, the value between gold and silver, and the research I did, it normally tracks between 30 and 60. That's the, there's a name for it. It's the value of one to the other, like as in you need 30 to 60 ounces of gold to silver. And it's now in the 80s. At the moment it's in a high spot because gold's bolted the gate, but silver hasn't quite yet. But, you know, once you're reading in the news, it's only a matter of a few lousy bloody days, and it will. So silver right now is a bargain, yeah, and meanwhile you got how many people reading this, and that won't last long. 18 months ago, Mr. Nugent liquidated all his assets, including cat meat, and after reading dozens of books, invested more than half his money into gold and silver. First generation Vietnamese immigrant, like I was saying, Vietnamese name. Financial security is important to his family, blah, blah, blah. We're really worried about where the economy was heading. Felt that Australia was really heavily exposed to China, which is slowing down and meant the share price and probably would have to come down. So I was trying to find something that would provide us a bit of hedge in case those asset classes come down. Oh, yeah, of course he does. ABC Bullion, Australian Bullion Company. Bullion. They have made the news once before. That's where I got my first 20 ounce bar from, and Silver Eagle, but then woke up and realised that they're pretty bloody overpriced. The company's chief economist said demand from retail investors, particularly self-managed funds, is enjoying a big upswing. We've seen precious metal turnover go up by a factor of 6 since the GFC. Yeah, that's a while ago. In terms of dollar values sold, very much around 50-50 around gold and silver. In terms of dollar values sold. So for every dollar somebody buys in silver, they buy $1 of gold. It's 50-50 in dollar values, not ounce values. Both assets are increasingly popular against investors looking for a safe haven asset in their portfolios. We've got some chart. Silver prices surged in the 2000s before diving after 2011. 2010, and she went through the fucking planet around 2011. Silver price resurgence. After dragging like US $4 or $5 an ounce through most of the night, silver hit highs of almost $49 an ounce in 2011. There was a Hunt Brothers incident. They got charged, and I don't know, but may have been jailed with market manipulation, and it actually got higher by about 50 US cents an ounce, not much at all, when they had their little shenanigan go down in the 80s. Like gold, it went on a general slide downwards until this year. It has now bounced back up to $15.60 US. I somehow think that's not terribly high. Brokers use the spot price to buy on behalf of retailers. Benchmark price, blah, blah, blah. The spot price is really a futures contract price. It was thrown in disarray in January when the benchmark price was set far below the spot and futures price, leading participants to claim the system is broken. Usually they're pretty, like your benchmark price and your spot price and your futures price are all pretty much the same thing. So you've had blah, 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 blah. Most of the purchases come from industrial fabricators, where global annual demand is 600 million ounces of silver. Series used in electronics, including mobile phones, the solar industry, and for producing plastics and detergents. I didn't even know that one myself, the plastics and detergents bit. Industrial demand has stayed incredibly strong because of silver's qualities as a metal. And business finding applications they can utilise silver in. Usually, one of the latest ones is using, they've got to use about 25 times the amount of platinum, which is about the price of gold. For a while there, it was actually a higher price than gold by about another $150 an ounce more. They've worked out, just moving around here. They've worked out that they can use silver. A Japanese dude has invented a silver catalytic converter for diesel vehicles, as opposed to platinum or something like that. They've traditionally used platinum and palladium in catalytic converters, but there's some sort of a one they use in diesel. I don't know if it's not your urea, your Blue Tech stuff, but the one after. And they're using silver instead with his. It takes 25 times the silver, but when you look at the price, that means you're saving, and you're only spending about 10% of what you would otherwise spend using platinum and palladium. Prices have risen, but it's such a small component they haven't rushed to find replacement metals, unlike gold, which is almost exclusively a monetary metal and used for investment purposes. The only other place they use gold, really speaking, is in airbag connectors in cars, in a handful of Pentium processors at one point there, and satellite manufacture, which of course they don't really make them every day. And I am not certain, but I think aircraft connectors are all completely gold as well inside your passenger jets. Silver will be wearing that industrial and monetary metal status for years to come. Well, it already has been. This guy certainly hopes so, as he's holding on his stockpiles for now. Extremely happy, he said. My son's also an investor. He's 14 years old and he's sitting on a small stockpile of silver as well. Holy smoke. A long play for such a young investor. A couple of other stories.